Hey y'all, I'm back from my long break. I know it's been a minute, but this episode to kind of break down what I was going through internally. I learned that the oil is costly because it requires honesty and not suppression. It requires surrender and not the need to be perfect, holy, prophetic, sanctified all the time. I was in a season where two versions of me was fighting for one spot. I was going back and forth between who I used to be and who I was trying to become. And it was exhausting. On one side of me, I'm emotional, sensual, irritated, angry, manipulative, and sometimes just over the Christian walk. And then there's the other side of me who is prophetic, who is anointed, that has wisdom, that has experienced intimacy with God, that knows better, that wants better, that was walking like somebody who carried something. And I'm learning that I can't build this brand while pretending that half of me doesn't exist. I'm not doing that polished. I don't have it all together. I'm not hiding my struggles so that I can look spiritual on camera. I can't perform for people who don't have to live in my body and fight my battles. So I had to vow to give the whole truth, the whole experience, the walk that I'm going through. Because the truth is, I don't want to build a brand out of suppression. I don't want to act holy and on camera and fall apart in private. I don't want to be out here telling people about the oil and the prophecy and the deliverance and the miracles of God while I'm ignoring parts of me that still need deliverance, discipline, and healing. I want transformation. I want accountability. I want to bring both versions of me to the table and say, only one of us can lead. But the question is, which part of me will? And I feel like that's what Paul was talking about in Romans. So I went and I read Romans 7. And I have to put it into my own little language because, it's the lover me versus the daughter of God. The sensual me versus the sanctified me. The one that wants a man versus the one who just wants God. The one who reacts out of trauma versus the one who responds from wisdom. So here's what I've learned. You don't have to suppress the parts of you that's broken, scared, or messy. You just can't let her lead anymore. She can exist. She can be acknowledged, but she cannot be the voice. This new beginning God is pulling me into, I can't pretend. I can't fake it. I can't look perfect on the outside and struggle on the inside. It's literally about choosing which version of me gets the mic every time I pick it up. Do I choose the triggered me, the tired, the one that's reacting out of fear? Or do I choose the me that actually believes God? The me that carries wisdom, the me that wants better for my kids, for myself. And if I'm going to be real, the season isn't woe is me. This season is watch me wrestle, but watch me win. So if you're here listening, watching, I I I want to tell you that the tone for your next chapter is that the new beginning isn't you pretending you don't feel anything. It's picking which parts of you gets the final say. It's choosing the version of you that's connected to purpose and not pain. This is the raw truth. This is the year you feel the real you step forth. So let's break some things down. In Romans 7, Paul said, "The things I want to do, I don't do. And the things I hate, I end up doing." Paul was saying, I've got two versions of myself inside of me, and they do not agree. And honestly, that's me. One side wants God, the other side wants comfort. One side wants discipline, the other side wants attention. One side wants peace, the other side wants a man. One side wants holiness, child, and the other side just want to feel something. And that's a real fight. It's a daily fight, and that's what Paul wasn't ashamed to admit. He admitted it so we could stop lying about it. Moses had the same identity issue we deal with every day. People hear Moses and think of a burning bush and a Red Sea, but Moses had an identity crisis. He didn't know where he fit. He doubted himself. He told God straight up, "I can't talk. I'm not built for it. Send Aaron." And we do the same thing. We say, "I can't pray. I'm not spiritual enough. I'm not consistent enough. My schedule is too busy. God, pick somebody else." But God responded to Moses. He's going to respond the same to you. Who made your mouth? It wasn't about Moses being perfect. It was about Moses agreeing with who God said he was. And that's exactly where I've been. God is trying to put in my mouth something great, and I'm trying to argue my weaknesses. Jacob literally wrestled all night for a new version of himself. The Bible says Jacob wrestled until the angel finally said, "Let me go." And Jacob said, "No, not until you bless me." And the crazy part is the blessing wasn't money or a miracle. He wrestled all night for a new name, a new identity, a new version of himself. And that's what a lot of us are wrestling for right now. Not a blessing, but a better version of ourselves. You're not wrestling demons. You're wrestling yourself. The old you, the triggered you, the traumatized you, the version of you that cannot go into the next season. Sometimes the fight is the upgrade. Even Jesus had moments where his human side talked out loud. People forget Jesus was fully God and fully human. He had emotions. He got overwhelmed. He had moments. He said in the garden, "My soul is overwhelmed." So when you're overwhelmed, you're not being unspiritual. You're being human. But the difference, Jesus didn't follow the overwhelmed version of himself. He followed the obedient one. That's the blueprint. You don't deny the feeling. You just don't let the feeling lead. God never asks us to be perfect. He asks us to be honest. Every person God used had real issues. Moses had self-doubt. David had desire problems. Elijah got depressed. Peter was impulsive. Paul had an ego. Mary Magdalene needed deliverance. The woman at a well had a whole situation going on. And God still used them. Why? Because God can work with honesty. He can work with transparency. What he cannot work with is denial. You cannot pretend you're healing and act like you're not broken. You get to heal saying, "Lord, this is what's going on. Fix me." That is where the oil flows. The fight inside of you, it's supposed to be happening. You're not crazy. You're not unstable. You're not double minded. You are human. You are transitioning. You are shedding a old version of yourself. And the moment you decide which version gets the final say, that's when everything shifts. God won't force you to choose the healed you. He'll just keep presenting the opportunity every day. And for the first time in my life, I'm choosing the version of me that can actually carry this oil. Not the triggered me, not the tired me, not the insecure me, not the lonely me, the true me. The one I keep ignoring, the one that God keeps calling, the one that life keeps hiding. I am now here. I am leading. And that's what this podcast is all about. So, if you're wrestling, good. If you're conflicted, good. If you feel the pull between you and the you used to be and the one you're becoming, good. Because that means God is doing something. That means you're being stretched. That means the old you is losing. That means the new you is getting louder. So I had to ask myself, how do I become the woman God actually sees while forgiving the woman I had to be? Let me be real. It's one thing to know you're called, right? But it's another thing to actually walk like it, think like it, choose like it, show up like you're called. So let me be very real in this moment. Becoming her starts with telling yourself the truth, the raw truth. And for me, that was saying, God, I don't trust myself in certain areas. God, I'm scared to be consistent. God, I want love and I want you. So help me balance this. God, I keep sabotaging myself because I don't feel worthy. He can work with that honesty, that doorway to transformation. Because you can't become the healed version of you if you're still protecting the broken version of yourself. Forgiving yourself is non-negotiable. You cannot step into who God called you to be if you're still punishing yourself for who you used to be. Some of y'all are not stuck. You're just guilty. Guilty about old relationships, guilty about old choices, guilty about your kids seeing you struggle, guilty about moments you didn't show up for yourself, guilty about times you ignored God. But hear me very clearly. God already forgave you. You're the one holding on to grudges. You cannot become her if you're still replaying who you were. Stop trying to skip the process. Everybody wants elevation, but nobody wants the healing that comes before it. Elevation without healing turns you into the same you, just with a platform. And God is not about to let that happen. You shouldn't want that to happen. So yes, before the blessing, before the oil, before the visibility, He's going to deal with you, your wounds, your pride, your fear, your insecurities, your triggers, your loneliness, your mouth, your thinking, your patterns. Because He knows the version of you that is operating out of pain cannot manage purpose. Becoming her means choosing her daily. Not once, not when you're emotional, not when you're not motivated. Every single day, choosing her when you're tempted, choosing her when you're lonely, choosing her when you want to go back, choosing her when everything in you wants to settle. Spiritual maturity is not perfection, it's consistency. God cannot bless the version of you that hates yourself. I'm going to say that again. God cannot bless the version of you that refuses to love yourself. If you want to become the woman He called you to be, you have to stop talking to yourself like you're the enemy. You have to stop replaying your mistakes like they're your identity. You have to stop expecting punishment when God is trying to give you mercy. You have to allow yourself to be forgiven, to be new, to be soft, to be loved, to be rebuilt, to be carried. Becoming her requires one thing above everything else: agreement. Not ability, not perfection, not performance, agreement. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to agree to become. Agreement sounds like, God, I'm choosing the better version of me today. God, I don't feel like it, but I'm trusting you. God, help me become who you already see. God, I forgive me. God, I'm done fighting with you about my future. Agreement is alignment. Alignment births identity. Identity releases oil. This is where you have to stop just surviving the wrestle and actually start becoming the woman you keep seeing in your spirit. This is where we forgive ourselves of the version of us that had to fight to survive. This is where we love ourselves back into alignment.